Hey guys, Rob Hilton here from AG Secure Property Management, continuing on with our education series. And again, we're following up with entry notices. Last video was about emergency situations you might have to do. This video is going to be about inspections and also maintenance issues. So inspections, let's start with the requirement for a landlord to inspect a property. They do have the right to inspect their property. However, they also have the responsibility not to continually be interfering with the day-to-day lives of the tenants. So something to think about twice a year is logical inspections, usually coinciding with smoke alarm inspections. So really important. By fire code, you have to inspect and make sure your fire alarms are working. This is the perfect time to go in, do a full unit inspection in a house. You got to go to the upstairs, you got to go to the downstairs, you got to go to the main floor. Might even have to go into any of the newer builds, into all the bedrooms to make sure the alarms are working. Great chance generally just to make sure the house is being kept in a condition that you want. At the same time, be careful, be respectful of the tenant's belongings. Don't go moving their stuff around. It's their stuff and they have a right to have it there. Also, another good time to check for furnace filters. Make sure that those are being maintained downstairs in the furnace room. Other inspections that might be coming up from time to time, maybe your insurance company wants to send somebody in to make sure that the house is up to code. You may have the bank that you want to do an appraisal. In those circumstances, you got to give 24 hours notice in writing to your tenants. And one of the things you want to be conscious of is telling them the truth of why this is happening. And if it's an appraisal, some tenants will get concerned that means you're putting it up for sale. If all you're doing is looking at refinancing or something like that, tell them right up front. It helps to get rid of some of the nervousness and helps to protect that landlord-tenant relationship. Other situations that will require notice to be given that we're going to cover off here now is maintenance. So when a tenant contacts you about a maintenance item, it might be it's a dripping faucet. It might be the fact that for some reason their fan in their bathroom's making a noise. When they contact you, if you have good solid communications with that tenant, it may be as simple as, hey, I can have a contractor come by at 2 o'clock this afternoon. His name is John Smith from company ABC. And if they're going to give you consent for that person to come in and take a look at that time, try and get it in writing, best maybe through an email communication. But when a tenant gives you consent to enter, you do not have to provide additional notice. That being said, they may not be open to that. Well, that's their right, and they can force you to do a 24-hour notice to the property. My suggestion, somebody who's not open to it but has a maintenance concern, not entirely sure why all the time, but you might want to take the proactive step of making sure that you've documented that you have delivered the 24-hour notice, because if they want to block that 24-hour notice, then you may have a landlord-tenant board issue, and especially if it's a maintenance issue that they're hoping they can bring up as a trick during an eviction process and saying you haven't serviced. Well, if you can show that, hey, I've been trying to service, but they haven't let me into the property, at least you've proven you've done your due diligence, and the board will respect that as well. Again, small percentage of the population. But in those circumstances, my recommendation, deliver the notice to the door with all the proper information. Again, a copy of the notice will be on the end of this presentation. And make sure you take a photo of it. Email it to yourself so you got a date and time stamp of when you delivered it. And then when you go to the property, you've got it as well in case they ask any questions. I will talk later about other resources that you have if you are having a problem getting into a unit, so that you want to stay tuned for those videos. The next video I'm going to talk to you about is what to do when your tenants have given you a notice of termination and you want to start showing that unit. So stay tuned for that video. Look forward to talking to you. If you have any feedback on this video or other videos you'd like to see, please don't hesitate to leave a little post on the bottom of this clip on Facebook here or YouTube. You can also send us an email at rob.hilton.ag@gmail.com. Give our office a call at 705-792-9764. And I hope you're finding this educational series of value to you. Thanks a lot, folks. Have a great day.